takes, and so drivers cannot really lose any form of concentration through the entirety of this lap. You can see another bank corner followed by another right hairpin. So I think this is the slowest corner of the track, as the final has been started, and fingers crossed it is a clean start without any glitch. Yeah, Glenn, we are finally starting. So unfortunate Jackster couldn't be here, and hoping, fingers crossed, Fun Anywhere does not go around in circles, or rather the game doesn't make him go around in circles. While we wait for the red lights to go off for the rolling start, keep an eye out on all the drivers here. It's all seems smooth, so we have our race on here. So RKV leading the pack. We could have the countdown any minute now. There we go, and we're off in Alsace in Group 2 cars. Pretty clean start for everyone, even down the grid order, where people could struggle as they were on the chicane, but RKV managing to keep his lead from the Fun Anywhere. And Archie is coming under attack from Shammy behind, and the overtake has already been made. So Archie losing positions here right at the race start, something similar that we saw in couple of races back. I'm not sure, I think that was St. Crow, and oh, Ancient Pleb sending it down the inside. That was a beautiful move. Ancient Pleb really making the track, the position count. He has to make as many positions as possible, and I'm sorry as I'm jumbling up my words. I need some water to drink. I'm suffering from pride as Ancient Pleb sends it down the inside of Shammy. Show someone is off the field. Shammy is off the field, so some collision must have been made from Ancient Pleb. I could be wrong, but Shammy will definitely suffer from some form of damage, and you can see RKV has pulled up a lead of 2.5 seconds already, and Fun Anyway is under attack from Ancient Pleb. Remember, Ancient Pleb has to win this race and hope for Wildest Mangus makes a move on the outside of the bank corner. That is a beautiful move, quite gutsy from Ancient Pleb, and he is up into P2, started P5 if I'm not wrong, and within the lap he has his eyes set on the race leader in RKV. Let's just get this on. It's already on, I'm sorry. So let's have a look at the tire compound. Medium is RKV, so thinking of a long-term strategy here from P1. So Ancient Pleb will definitely close down the gap, as he does a beautiful livery here. Quite simple, looks quite good on that car. It will close down the gap. He is already closing and pulling away the gap from Fun Anywhere, who's on the hard compound tire. So that explains why he's losing all the time. So we could see him pit here. Now he is continuing. So Monk is up into P4. Remember, he has to finish on the podium tonight if he wants this championship to go down to the final race. And for his sake, he has to overtake Fun Anywhere as soon as possible. Abby Thakur, who started at the back of the field, is up into P5. Glenn Ling, who finished on the podium on P2 last weekend, is in P6. Archie, not the best start. He is down into P7. Shammy, rather unfortunate for him. He is down in P last. So RKV still holding on, 1.7 seconds. So gap is not closing down as quickly as he would have hoped. Rather, sorry, I just flipped the wrong car. So Pleb is now closing down the gap, 1.3. You can see that car does look really good from the front, I must say. So Pleb is in this Janavi. I think Archie was the other one, and you can see Wildest Monk is fighting on the outside, and he makes the move stick. So that was a pretty good move. Of course, he was on the racing soft compared to Fun Anyway's hard, but he had to overtake him at some point of time. So that was a clean and really good move. So Ancient Pleb wouldn't be too happy seeing Monk's name into the podium place. Reminder again, for Pleb to win the championship tonight, he has to finish P1 and then really hope that Monk is outside of the podium. As the gap is closed down, you can see 6/10, as I cannot switch to the driver's angle here, so I have to get out of this replay and switch back to the replay mode. So let's just get rid of this chicane, as no moves being made. So I'll quickly just exit this and just reach on back, and there you go, sorted. Simple as that. Right, so coming back to the battle of the lead, Ancient Pleb is already setting up the pace with the 142.5. He was thinking of going down the inside, but RKV is on the medium, so I think for Monk's sake, the longer Pleb can stay behind him, the better it is. There you go, the better it is for him. So Monk will be hoping that RKV is able to keep Ancient Pleb behind him as well. Possibly sends it down the inside. He thinks about it, but you can see, and now that allows RKV, Pleb to force RKV to go wide into the corner as Pleb is in the lead, and this is where he needs to be if he wants to wrap up the championship tonight. And of course, hope for Monk to finish off the podium. So one part is definitely done, and that's all he could do tonight from his point, from the things that is under control, to be in P1 and hope that he finishes in that slot tonight. But for not his sake, Monk is in P3 and closing down the gap on RKV. No damage, so there was definitely no contact, maybe tiny bit, but not enough to bring any damage to RKV. As Monk, what is this? Pleb is off the track. Push too hard. This is not going to help him. The grass will be on his tires, and you can see Monk is right behind him, so this has worked definitely in favor of Monk. He would be really happy, and he will be really pissed with that. Maybe pushing too hard on that, and he's into the grass again, so grip is definitely not at his prime at the moment, and Monk will be looking to make the move at turn 1. Definitely RKV is pulling away into the gap and going wider and getting a better launch of that corner, as Ancient Pleb is already in the pits, so he has damage from rear bumper, you can see. And for Monk's sake, he is up into P2. Maybe he'll pit in. Let's just have a look. Abitago is in P3, so that's really good driving. Haven't been on him for longer. Fun Anyway, who started on hards, is in P4 and doing quite well, keeping up with Abitago. Maybe he's using Abitago as a slingshot to keep him in front. Ancient Pleb has come out right in front of Archie, so that is really good. He has repaired his damage that he got on the rear of his car, and he came right in front of Archie, so Ancient Pleb will be really pleased with that. Glenn is down into P7. He has made his pit stop. Shami, who had to pit on lap 1, is in P8. Rather unfortunate for him, but long ways to go. He could definitely claw his way back into a better points paying position, but the man benefiting the most, he went too wide, or maybe that's the line he likes to take, is RKV. Monk is comfortably in P2, so as long as Monk can finish in front of Pleb, I think that will really help him, and really help his confidence, rather, I can't speak at all, really help his confidence going into the final race next week. But as of now, he is closing down the gap slowly but steady, but it is coming down to RKV. RKV is on the mediums, so he should have some form of advantage here to Monk, but Monk is doing really well, keeping it consistent, we can see, to RKV. And yeah, he is going into the pits, so softs, I think, have run out of their prime, and with no damage, I think Monk should be able to come out in front. No, look at this. Where's Monk? Monk is still in the pits, and Ancient Pleb, I think he didn't go any refuel, did he? Where's Monk? No, so fuel wasn't an issue. So even after that damage repair, he has made this undercut work beautifully. Look at the gap he's built up. 3.8 seconds, and they both have come out on the racing medium, so it's not that Pleb was out on the softs and pushing it. So that's how much undercut is at an advantage here. He repaired his bumper damage and still came out in front of him, and you can see he's closing down the gap on Abitago. Will Abitago make life difficult for him? We'll have to wait and see. He could definitely play a role in the championship fight tonight, but I don't think he'll make life too difficult for Pleb, as he'll stay on this battle for now. This seems to be the only battle. As Ancient Pleb tips his rear right onto the grass for just a few seconds. Let's just have a look at the battle between Glenn and Fun Anyway. So Fun Anyway, I can't speak. Fun Anyway has some damage, but let's see if Abitago just lets him through. So not making the life difficult for Ancient Pleb does Abitago. You can see Ancient Pleb went a bit deeper than he would have hoped. And his old teammate, Abitago's old teammate, is closing down the gap on him, so I don't think he'll make life too difficult for him as he didn't for Ancient Pleb. So final corner to go for this lap and onto the back straight. So Abhi Thakur has continued. He is on the racing medium, but his tire will be struggling for the grip, and we can see gap is 2.5 seconds, and it is definitely coming down. Archie has made his pit stop, his first pit stop with half a tank of fuel. We'll see what tire compound he comes out on that allows Archie has come out on hard. So Archie and Glenn are teammates, remember. So will did he just lift off there? So will Archie make it difficult for him? He is on the racing soft, so shouldn't be too difficult to make the move stick. It's a battle with teammates, remember, but Archie's not making it easy. A bit of an argy-bargy here, and he has pushed his teammate, and he has suffered some damage on his right front. So not a good news for his teammates. So the team principal won't be happy with that, definitely. For Archie's sake, he was on hards, and I think he is just doing one lap. That's my guess. Should have let his teammate through, but that's totally up to drivers if they want to. Monk has closed on the gap on his old teammate from season 1. Will Abhi Thakur let him through at the same corner? No, not really. He moves really late and got a little tap from him. Sent him a little wide, but no damage done to either of them, thankfully. Abhi Thakur is into the gravel. Should make his pit stop on this lap. Meanwhile, the gap is... I think the gap is definitely closing down, but it's still good enough. It's just under 4 seconds. Ancient Pleb is reeling down as expected. But RKV has led every lap, I believe, since the race started. So that's a pretty good job from RKV. RKV has found quite a lot of pace over the past 1 month, judging by the result in the other leagues. I've raised him in other leagues as well, and he has definitely found a lot of pace. Yes, you can see him struggling, losing the back end, so definitely tire grip is not at an advantage here, and the gap will close down here. 3.5, just under 3.5 now between him and Ancient Pleb. Gap of around 4 seconds between him and his championship rival in Monk. Jackster has put his money on Monk here. It's teammate. Unfortunate, Jackster, that you couldn't be here. Would have been great seeing you and him fighting for constructors, as that is another battle that you guys are running. But yeah, teammates supporting another teammate here, which is always good to see. So Monk is closing down the gap. Under 3 seconds, some mistake must have been made here. Oh, damage! Oh, RKV has damage, so he lost his back end somewhere. I apologize, totally missed that, and that has allowed Ancient Pleb to move up into P1 once again. RKV will be coming on attack. He goes really deep into that corner. Monk will be smacking his lips watching that GTR of RKV struggle through the corner, and you can see how slow he is on the exit. So RKV, for his sake, has to make a pit stop and obviously lose at least a couple of seconds repairing that damage. He is indicating, so he has left that door open to let him through, so that's fair play. Not losing a lot of time for him and for Monk as well, and I think RKV will be in the pits. Yeah, he is definitely in the pits. So front bumper, you can see front bumper and front right is definitely suffering from some form of damage. Abhi Thakur is in P4. He has made his pit stop, and he will be pulling away the gap from Glenn, who is on rather old and worn out softs. He is in P5, and where's RKV? Oh, there's a bit of a battle, argy-bargy. RKV has come out on racing hards into P3, so podium position hasn't been lost, even though he pitted with a damage from P2. But will Abhi Thakur fight back? Remember, he's a reserve here. He sent it down the inside. Oh, that was quite a late lunge. But will RKV get that switchback line over him? He will have the outside here. So, not the easiest spot here. So, RKV will be really frustrated here. He knows Abhi Thakur is a reserve here. And he is definitely not helping RKV's cause here to maybe try for another attempt to retake that lead from Ancient Pleb. Let's have a look at the gap here. 4.1 seconds. So the gap is hovering around 4, plus minus tenth or 2 here and there. No damage luckily for RKV or Abby Taukur as long as they're battling. Here RKV, remember, is on the hard, so definitely grip will be at a disadvantage here. But he's doing a rather commendable job. Is RKV on those hard tires. Will he just do one lap or maybe try to stretch these out? We should know that in 4 corners from now. Oh, he hits the grass and he lost the back end, but beautifully held on to it. But that's not gonna help him. That's gonna frustrate him even further. He was right on his tail. Asian Pleb is in the pits. You can see how much he's struggling under the braking. The grass or the gravel does stay onto your tires for few seconds once you have made the mistake. Where will he come out in relation to Ancient Pleb? He has made the move, and there he is, just in front of RKV. He has refueled up to the brim here. You can see losing the back end. So yeah, fresh hard tires are definitely a struggle. RKV hasn't made his pit stop yet, so that explains why he was able to get such a big jump on Ancient Pleb. Monk meanwhile is 13 seconds up into in the lead from his ultimate. I think I should stop saying ultimate. They are not teammates anymore. So 13.5 seconds. The gap is increasing definitely every corner. So this should help him possibly take a race win here. What's the fuel situation? So not too bad, not too bad. I think he can do maybe another lap or maybe 2 on these tire wear and those fuel. Abby Thakur has definitely played its part to hold RKB back, and you can see he is definitely coming under attack from Ancient Pleb. Let's stay on board with this battle. How much? They both are on hearts. Yeah, they both are on hearts. What's hearts? They both are on hearts. And will RKB fight this? I think he should. He is in net P3, remember? Yeah, he missed the apex completely. Went a bit wide, or rather too wide rather. So how much? Oh, you can see he is not doing too well onto the grip. But what RKB needs to do is just calm his nerves down. There is a long way to go. There is still 23 minutes or just under 24 minutes. Why does Monk is in the pits? He is changing his tires. He was on the mediums. Where will he come out? He will come out in P4 because Glenn is just taking that chicane, or he could lose that. Oh, Glenn is in the pits. So luckily for Monk, he will not lose another position. Where is Shammy? He is just coming towards that chicane, and I think yeah, Monk is out now. So Monk is safe there. So I think hard is the... I mean, drivers are preferring hards here. You can see normally up until this point we've seen drivers just do one lap on the hards, or rather in or slash out lap on the hards, and they just got rid of it. But on this track I think hard is definitely a tire of choice, or the compound of choice, as we've seen almost everyone run longer than one lap on this compound, which is good to see. I think this compound is ignored by almost everyone on every track, but Alsace seems to be proving that otherwise. Ancient Pleb coming back to the race is still behind, and I think he's not really attacking. 9.5 tenths is the gap, and that's being pretty consistent here between him and RKV. So I think he is saving his fuel. Let's have a look at his gear shift. Yeah, he is not really revving this out. We should see this at the exit of this hairpin. Let's just keep an eye out. He goes a bit deep. Let's gear 1 out, and yeah, short shifting on second and third. So definitely fuel saving there. What about RKV? He is fuel saving as well, so not really shifting up. Yeah, Pleb is definitely saving his fuel. So that's a strategy as well that is involved in this race. The longer you stay in the pits, of course, that much it will harm your race result towards the end. So that's good to see. What about Monk? If he is fuel saving or not? Let's have a look at the exit of the chicane. Keeping an eye out on the rev limiter here. No, he is revving out, so fuel is not being saved here. One advantage or one privilege which he doesn't have anymore. Wow, RKV has pulled up a lead of 1.8 seconds. So Pleb has been saving quite a lot of fuel here. You can see losing the back end. Now the gap is being closed down, and the gap is closing down between him and Abby. So Abby is really struggling with his tire wear. Will he make life difficult for him? We should see that pretty soon. Yeah, let's have a look at any of the battle on track. Ancient Pleb is quite some time behind, 15 seconds in front and behind P5 and P3 respectively. Oh, there's a battle between the teammates again. So no team orders tonight, and these two have been battling each other, and we've seen an incident already between these two. Archie suffering from damage on the exit of one returns because Glenn decided to send it down the inside. Don't really think that could have been intentional, but that's something for the stewards to look into if Archie reports that incident. So Glenn has overtaken his teammate, who is on a fresh set of mediums. Archie, I think he pitted a couple of laps earlier. Shammy, who was P last, is up into P7. Race. Oh, he loses the back end and into the wall. He must go. Another engine damage. Oh, and this is damage again with Fun Anywhere. Oh, that's a massive damage between him and Shammy. Shammy was ghosted. I'm not really sure how did he go in, I mean, that impact. That was unfortunate for Fun Anyway and Shammy. These two drivers are really quick, and we would really hope for both of them to be up, fighting for podiums, but they are languishing at the bottom too. Meanwhile, Monk and Abby Tagore are into the pits, and that has released Ancient Pleb up into the lead, 17 seconds up in the front of RKV. RKV has made his pit stop, so he is definitely off his hard compounds. Abby Tagore has come out of the mediums, so softs and the mediums. Where's Monk? Monk has closed on the gap by 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Fuel situation, RKV, I don't think he has pitted a lot, but Abby has definitely has gone all the way up to the brim. So Monk, what he needs to do as the things stand, let's just get back to the championship fight here. So as things stand, and if the drivers are to finish where they are, Ancient Pleb, and he has a fastest lap as well to rub salt on the wounds, if I can say that. As things stands, Ancient Pleb will see the championship battle. For Monk's sake, he has to at least gain one position and be on that podium with him if he needs to take this fight to the last round of this league. So next week is the final round. Remember, this is the penultimate round of this league in Alsace, and what a race it has turned out to be up until this point. Quite interesting as he dips it on the gravel and held on just by a needle, I must say. So pressure is definitely showing. Nerves are kicking in. Remember, and even he knows that he needs to be on the podium, so pushing too hard for his liking, but I'm pretty sure he will find a way to put his car on to the podium. Finish up the field, 14, almost 15 seconds into the lead, so it's his race to lose really right now. It's Fun Anyway has retired, so unfortunate for him, for Fun Anyway, losing out on what could have been an interesting position, points paying position for him. RKB is into P2. Is he closing down the gap? He should, and he is definitely, courtesy his racing soft. Abby Tagore is losing some time from RKB, but he is keeping quite a consistent time to Wildest Monk, but still the gap is just under 8 seconds. Something Monk wouldn't like at all, as we have just 17.5 minutes of this race to go, so a lot of work needs to be done from Monk, or if you are a Monk support, as Monk sets the fastest sector of anyone on the track, so he's definitely going for that fastest lap, which is currently being held by Ancient Pleb, 142.513. Haven't seen, of what we can see from here, Monk going anywhere near 142. His fastest as of now looks like a 143.9, but I mean, still a long ways to go. 17 minutes, anything can happen here. Glenn has built up a gap over his teammate by 4.5 seconds, and Shammy, after his big crash a couple of laps back ago, is in P7, which is currently the last position on the grid. Pleb is in the pits, no refueling needed, just a change in the tires. So his strategy, pull away as much as a gap possible before refueling. You don't want to be stuck behind another rival. Remember, what he needs to do is finish P1, which is very much under his control at the moment, and then hope that Monk finishes outside the podium, which currently it is. Unless, of course, the drivers, any one of the drivers in the top 3 make a mistake and Monk takes away that top 3, which he is looking like he can do it. The gap is closing down. Almost 2 seconds shaved off Abitakor in 1 lap alone, so you can see the pace that he is showing. He is pushing definitely hard, and his fastest lap was the last lap of 142.6, or 1/10 off, 1.5 tenth rather, off the fastest lap. So you can see the pace difference between these two drivers and the amount that they're pushing each other in order to have the best possible points through this race. But let's just hope Monk is able to finish onto the podiums for the championship's sake. But then again, Ancient Pleb has driven beautifully throughout the entire season. He hasn't kept a foot wrong, unless if you count the couple of races in the past over the last 3 weeks. Didn't really finish as high as he would have liked, and I think that allowed Wildest Monk to close down the gap as much as he did. So that didn't really help him, but we can see him being back in the form and the commanding drive that he's being put. I mean, and I think the strategy that he applied at this race start, the aggressive strategy of gaining as many positions as possible, and I think that's really serving him really well here. And we can see him up in P1. He is still fuel saving, judging by the gear shift and the gap that is being closed down by RKV. But yeah, he will definitely make a pit stop. He cannot take this compound all the way on, and his fuel won't allow. So as much as he can save his fuel now, the lesser time he will be spinning in the pit as he drifts and catches that back end like a professional that he is. And he's still going faster than anyone. So that's a pretty good pace that he's showing at the moment, using all the track on the exit. Let's just stay on board here with him. Why not? As we don't have any battle on the track, judging by the mini-map, and we can control this rather cool feature here. So as he takes this long right-handed banked corner, I really love this corner. I think this is the best section of this track for me, besides that final downhill chicane. Quite tricky. This banked corner doesn't look as easy as it is. You really have to manage your throttle and the exit entry speed, rather not exit, entry speed. Coming off to this uphill bank corner, another challenging corner, very easy to go off track and hit the barriers on the exit. And this is I think the best corner for me. Braking really as late as possible, but not too late to go into the wall, and just final one corner to go and come across the final straight. And fastest lap, it is 142.4, so 4/10 even after fuel saving the entirety of this lap. Ancient Pleb is showing his prowess. I think prowess is the word. So yeah, Pleb is doing what he needs to do to hopefully seal the championship for him. Monk, meanwhile, has closed down the gap on Abitakor just over a second. So while that battle is going on, let's just keep our camera angle on him. Let me just go to the comment section and see what people are saying. Pratik Benya said crash upcoming. I think that was at the start of the stream. Udit Sen, who's Jackster, has put his money on the Monk, but doesn't look too good for him. But again, 12 minutes to go, anything can happen, and we could see Monk finishing this race in P1. You never know. Anything can happen, and you can see him sending it down the inside, but Abitakor, we saw just letting him through. Ancient Pleb must have noticed that name popped up into P3. Wouldn't be too pleased, but as long as he can finish in front of Monk, I think Pleb wouldn't complain, and he has RKV to play a spoil sport for Monk in terms of points here. The point difference between P1 and P3 is 10 points, and you add the fastest lap point, that makes it 11. So 25 points for the race winner, plus 1 point for the fastest lap, 18 points for P2 and 15 for P3. Very much similar, or not very much, but exactly like how F1 point system works. So Asian Pleb is in the pits, running low on fuel, but so is Wireless Monk. Monk doesn't have the best of the tires, and fuel wise he's not doing too well, so I'm afraid he will have to make his pit stop right now, or maybe he's going in the pits. That has allowed RKV to take back the lead again from Asian Pleb, but going by the fuel wear and the tire wear, looks like he will make his pit stop in the next lap. So Pleb is, we can say at the moment, Pleb is our net race leader. Any other battle going on here? Glenn is in the pit. So pretty uneventful race for Glenn, who is our race winner. Let's not forget, a dominating race winner that is as well. I think he won his race in Sardinia, started P1 and held on to it for the entirety of this race. Really commanding drive, so definitely a driver who can drive a lot quicker. Not having the best of the races, but P5 is definitely not a bad position to finish the race. While this Monk is down into P4 again, so he needs to work his way all over again. But he's on the soft compared to Abby's hards. So that gap will come down rather quickly, and we could see him up into P3. Archie, Glenn's teammate, is in P6. Someone who's seen second time this season not making full advantage or taking full advantage of his starting grid position. He lost quite a few positions here, similar to what he did in Saint Croix, however you pronounce it. So yeah, maybe he needs to work on that, or maybe something that his race strategy involves letting everyone through and running his own race to get maximum gain maximum points in the race. Maybe that's his strategy, as RKV, our provision race leader, is in the pits, really running on fumes. How Sham is here, closing down on Archie. So Sham, we could definitely see battle for P6 going on. Abby Thakur is in the pits once again. Ancient Pleb, yeah, just under 14 seconds in front of RKV. So RKV is out on racing soft, and yeah, we could see him coming an attack from Monk, who is on racing softs himself. Abby Thakur is in P4, doing quite well, running into P4 consistently there. P3, P4, P5, so really good pace shown up here by him. Glenn pitted while in P5, and he has come out in P5. Oh, there's the battle. Finally, some battle on track. Really send it down the inside. I love this view. So let's just stay on board with them, as we have no other battles to look into besides Monk, who we could see close on the gap on RKV. But here we are. Archie, who is on the racing hards. Yep. Let's get back on this view. Archie, is he defending? Not really, but Shami sends it down the inside of Archie. Archie really letting him through, not fighting it. And you can see him swerving in the rearview mirror. And that Shami up into P6. So definitely not all is lost for Shami, who had a lap 1 incident and that big shunt few laps ago. So reaching as high as P6 is definitely worth applauding for his sake. He could have finished higher, but not every race goes as per driver's plan, so that's how racing works, unfortunately. Pleb is sitting comfortably, sipping on his tea and having biscuits alongside, driving P2, driving in P1 for I don't know for how long, but he is P1. RKV is in P2. The gap is slowly closing down between him and Monk. Abby Thakur comfortably in P4. Glenn nowhere in relation to other drivers in P5, and so is Shami pulling away a gap from Archie, and Archie is down, or rather running last of the active drivers in P7. So no real battles here that we can see, except the overtake that was made between Shami and Archie. So that's not really a battle here. A battle that we could see pretty soon is between RKV and Monk. Fuel situation doesn't look too promising for Wildest Monk here, just a tiny bit off as compared to RKV. You can see here as I flip between these two, the field situation, RKV is definitely at an advantage here. And tire wear wise as well, RKV running a bit fresher tires compared to Monk. So that explains why the gap is quite consistent. I think if they have to make the pit stop, the lap is around 1 minute and 45 seconds if you can take an average. So this should give us maybe 4 more laps of race to go. So Ancient Pleb, will he, oh, his tire situation doesn't look too promising. Can he run those tires? I think he will have to make that pit stop. I don't think he can take those tires for 4 laps. Field situation doesn't look too grim, but tire wear definitely will come into play. So we could see some interesting situations here. RKV fuel doesn't look too bad, and tire wear could possibly stretch this out for another 3 laps. Monk will have to pit. Fuel wise doesn't look too promising, so yeah, Pleb has to pit. Pleb definitely has to pit. Tire wear is definitely falling down the cliff rather too quickly, so the race is not over. Fuel wise he doesn't have to worry about that, so that this could be a quick pit stop, just in and out, change the tires. And I think he has used hards and the mediums, if I remember correctly. I think he has used hards, I remember that. Mediums, stewards will have a look, but I think he has run all the 3 tire compounds, the chamois in the pits. And he is fallen back to P7. So will Ancient Pleb pit in? I think he should, because his lap times are falling down rather quickly. So 41.3 was lap 17, 42.1, 8 tenths down, and over 1.5 seconds, not over, but exactly 1.5 seconds was his previous lap, as he almost goes into the gravels. And yeah, he has to pit for his sake without losing too much time. The gap is coming down between Pleb and RKV, but it shouldn't be a worry as long as he pit. And yeah, he doesn't refuel. He doesn't have to refuel. It looks all good, and yeah, as expected, he is into the pits. So we could see no refueling here, just a swap of the tires, and he comes out always in soft. So yeah, 4 minutes to go, so that should give him 3 laps here max. So 3 laps to go. RKV, oh, Monk is in the pits. Where is Abit Harcourt? Abit Harcourt is taking that final chicane. So how much? Oh, Abit Harcourt is just in and out for him as well. So he will finish on the podium as things stand. Fuel saving could come into effect for Wildest Monk here. Just have to wait and see. But someone who doesn't have to think about fuel is our race leader here, who's out without refueling and on a fresh set of softs. So Pleb looks all set to finish this race, and oh, he lost the back end there. He needs to be careful. The race is not over, even though he is in the lead, 6.5 seconds up in the lead. The race is not over unless you take that checkered flag. So for his sake, he needs to be really careful, and for Monk's sake, Ancient Pleb needs to make a big mistake. But let's not hope for that. Let's just hope everyone finishes as clean as possible. RKV is 10.5 seconds up in front. He needs to do 2 more laps. Yeah, 2 more laps after this lap. Will he be able to take those tires all the way? Just over 9.5 seconds. Interesting. I think he has to make a pit stop here. I don't think he can take this all the way for another couple of laps. That will be a challenge. Monk is not doing too well on the fuel side of things. So at fuel saving, you can see he's shifting really early to save his fuel. Maybe he should have gone for a small splash of fuel. The gap is closing down. You can see between him and RKV. Is he going in the pits? He is staying out. So this could very well turn out to be an exciting finish here. Fuel wise, he's at advantage, but tire wear wise, Wildest Monk is at massive advantage. So this is going to turn out to be quite an interesting race. Let's hope. A couple of more laps to go, including this one. 8.1 seconds is the gap. Monk is fuel saving. RKV is tire saving. So everything to look out for. You can see 8 seconds is the gap. What will the gap be at the exit of this corner? Oh, 7.8 seconds already. So gap is falling down between him and 7.7 seconds, 7.5 seconds, 4 seconds. Also, gap is falling down rather rapidly, so we could see a photo finish here. Let's hope for that finish. Wildest Monk goes fastest, but I think Pleb will be going faster, even faster, as we stay on board to see as the sector split is coming at the exit of this long banked right-hander. Does he go purple? No, he does not. 10.5 seconds. So Wildest Monk definitely going a lot quicker than Pleb is. So we could see Monk goes deep. No, that just looked like he got a bit deep. Will he go purple on this sector split? He's going sector 310, so he's 3/10 quicker. So we could see him enter into the 141s, the first driver to do so tonight, and possibly that could help him serve as a damage control when it comes to points paying. So look at the gap, 5.1 seconds. So this is heating up rather quickly. Let's quickly have a look if there's any of the battle on track before we come back to that. Not really. Sham is up into P6 again as Archie have made his pit stop, but this is the battle. Pleb has gone fastest. Monk has gone even faster with a 141.5, almost 6/10 quicker than his best. That was RKB who said that. Who said that purple lap before Monk? I don't know, but Monk has the fastest lap, so that's 1 point into his pocket. So some relief for him when it comes to points paying position, but now it's all down to look at the fuel of Wildest Monk. This is the final lap, remember, and look at the tire wear that's where RKB is running. So it's all up to who can manage this pressure the most. But I think Glenn has crossed the finish line, so Glenn will finish P5, Shammy P6, and Archie P7. Pleb I think is comfortably up into P1, and that's where he will finish. But look at, he just dipped into the gravel there, but he has to save a lot of fuel now. But the gap is closing down rather quickly here. Fuel wise, not an issue for RKV, but it is a tire wear where he's struggling. For Wildest Monk's sake, he is running out of our track here, but the gap is closing down. 1.8 seconds, just under 1.9. It has gone over 1.9, but you can see him. He will close on the gap under braking zone here. RKV misses the apex by a big margin. 1.5 seconds to go. So this could very well go down to the wire, and I think Monk. We could hope that, but I think Monk Pleb has won the race. I'm sorry I was not on that. But RKB under a second now is the gap. But I think Monk has run out of track and out of the time, and RKB has done brilliantly here to finish in P2, and Monk just over half a second in P3. Abhi Thakur, the respectable P4. He was a reserve member. A brilliant race from him as well, P4. But what a battle we have had on our hand, and what a drive from Ancient Pleb, RKV, and Monk. 5.5. I mean, half a tenth. What a race! What a finish there. It was tire wear against fuel wear at the end of it all, and yeah, fair play to all of the drivers, rather, not just the top three. All of them doing exceptionally well. So starting P5, winning the race, but at the end, Wildest Monk taking that fast lap away from Monk. So let's run down the grid order. Ancient Pleb winning yet another race. RKV finishing P2, and Monk, for his sake, finishing in P3 with the fast lap and taking the title fight all the way to the final race of the season. So that will be a cracker of a race. Abhi Thakur finishing P4. Glenn, he was all alone for the entirety of the race, finishing P5. Shammy or Clownster, however you know him, finishing P6. Archie finishing P7, and our DNF is fun anywhere here. So there we have it. What an exciting race once again. And yeah, as I said, the championship fight will go all the way down to the final track. Let me just confirm where we are racing. Give me a second. It will be in Kyoto, Yamagiwa, and I've heard that's not the best track for Wildest Monk. So Monk wouldn't enjoy that, but yeah, he needs to put in some work here. That's a great track. I think that's a brilliant track. Yet another GT original masterpiece. Let me just save this replay. Yeah, quite a difficult track to overtake, but a brilliant track to race nevertheless. But again, congratulations to Ancient Pleb. He did what he had to win the race, and Monk did what he had to do, finish on the podium with the fastest lap to take the championship fight to the final round of the season. So this has been bringing you the coverage of the penultimate race of Proximity GT Sport Racing League, and what a cracker of this race and what a cracker of the season this is turning out to be. And I'll see you next weekend for the final race, and until then, it's good night.